and let us all do we can to build a better future.
Turns out Kamala isn't as popular as the Vote Blue or Cav or corporate media, or even those larger YouTube channels said that she's not that popular.
Wait, you're talking about Kamala Harris from the esteemed Biden-Harris administration? The only administration to have the vice president always in and talked about with the main president for some reason? That person?
Yeah, so here's the thing. I got two articles, and I want to just I'm going to skim through the RT America one, but let's pull it up here real quick. So Kamala Harris has become the most unpopular vice president 6 months into the administration in years, according to recent unfavorable polling for the former senator. Harris found her future hopes of ever becoming president a point of mockery over the weekend as critics jumped on a report indicating that recent polling shows she has become the least popular vice president 6 months into the administration since the 1970s. Now, this is a report from the Telegraph. Democrat strategists have internal worries about the controversial politician, describing her polling as underwater at this point. Two recent polls cited by the report show approval ratings of 46% in both, but disapproval ratings of 47% and 48%. That's not good. Harris is also struggling with support amongst significant and influential voting groups, such as young people and Hispanics. An economics YouGov poll showed only 36% of respondents between the ages of 18 and 29 reviewed Harris favorably. Daniel, real quick.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's like I just hear like a bunch of people in Wall Street sigh heavily, like, we try again. It's going to be hard.
Yes. So
we're going to push her in like Hillary, and that worked out so well last time, didn't it?
Well, the thing is, again, we got to remind everyone that Kamala Harris, when she was initially running during the primary, look, she had a big bang start off, but her campaign was mismanaged. It went bankrupt, and it was just a terrible campaign. She wasn't popular. She got 0 delegates. And she dropped out before the Iowa primary.
She's also generally very unlikable anyway.
Hang on, because we're going to find out. We got this article from LA Times. The Times is tracking the latest national opinion polls to help gauge how voters view Vice President Kamala Harris. A California native, Harris is the first female black and South Asian American to serve as the nation's second in command. As of July 27, 45% of registered voters had a favorable opinion of Harris, and 48% had an unfavorable opinion, a net rating of minus 3% points according to a Times average. This page will update as new polls arrive, though. So since taking office, Harris has been assigned one of the administration's most thorniest issues, stemming an influx of immigrants attempting to cross U.S. borders. Republicans have sought to make her the face of an issue that they believe could help them politically. Remember, it was Kamala Harris who told migrants not to come to this country.
But remember, when that's fine, but when Trump says exactly the same thing in basically the same words, terrible thing.
Now, here's the thing. The dip followed an interview with NBC's Lester Holt where Harris bristled at a question about why she had not visited the border, triggering criticism. Comments about immigration and the United States southern border during visits to Mexico and Guatemala have also sparked controversy. The decline also corresponds with studies showing Harris, like other female politicians, has increasingly become the target of online abuse. However, let's be very clear here. There are bad people who are targeting a lot of the women politicians, and it's not right that they're attacking them for their gender. But at the same time, too, if these lawmakers screw up like they have, we have every right to be critical of them, and hiding behind identity politics is not the way to go.
So, yeah, I think that we can easily make this very quick clarification for people on this. We do not support and we condemn to the fullest Kamala Harris being attacked for her gender or her ethnicity, or any of these other democratic or demographic reasons. I think we can all stand and say that's horrible. But we can stand and call her out for just being a really terrible politician that doesn't care about you or your families.
Yes, and again, 15 million Americans are at risk of being evicted from their homes, and this is happening under the Biden-Harris administration. The Biden-Harris administration failed to get Congress to act properly, and it was the Democratic lawmakers like Speaker of the House Nancy and AOC and Cori Bush, who had to run to the chambers, they let this happen. Sorry, folks, if that offends you, but this is a fact. And facts don't care about your feelings. To quote some guy named Shapiro.
His wife is very, very lonely.
Yes. So continuing on with the article, before, because I do want to play a video that'll be fun for everyone else to watch. As the country has become more partisan, vice presidents have become less likely to enjoy broad support amongst the public. Pence, for example, had a net favorability of roughly 0 for much of his 4 years in the White House. Joe Biden, Dick Cheney, and Al Gore all began their tenures with higher ratings than Harris currently enjoys. In the Times' latest average, President Biden's favorability is 52%, and his unfavorability rating is 45%. That's going to probably be a reverse very soon. A positive net about 7% points. But again, going further again, Continue on with the article. Routine nationwide polling of Harris began of late 2018 when it became clear she planned to run for president. A review of 193 polls conducted since shows how she has become better known nationally and how views about her have evolved over time. After joining the race, Harris' favorability gradually declined through the summer and fall of 2019 when she dropped out in December of that year. Her public polling largely stopped because she was knocked out by Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah. That's a thing.
Yeah, but that's another thing. We're gonna show you that in a second. I'm just remind everyone. But if you're running for presidential office and you've already spent millions and millions of dollars, someone on a debate with you cutting your entire election apart in a couple words is a rather high level of pathetic. Mm-hmm. Not even Hillary Clinton took that much damage when attacked.
Oh, my
Not
God.
even Joe Biden took that much damage when attacked. That's an extra paper tiger level of campaign.
And it's weak. So in the spring of 2020, amid speculation about Harris joining the Democratic ticket, she returned to pollsters' radar. Her favorability started rising in August when Biden made her a vice presidential pick. After becoming vice president, Harris was asked to lead the immigration offices, but since then she has been decreasing in approvability because, again, I think a lot of people are realizing that when it comes down to being a leader, Kamala Harris has a lot of skeletons in her closet, and so we're now going to time travel, everybody, back to the early days of the 2020 primary. And now, long overdue, it's a little bit of a Tulsi time. Let's go ahead and play this video where we see the moment that destroyed Kamala Harris.
And again, the fact that there is a moment in time that you could point to a candidate being destroyed during a debate.
Yeah.
I mean, how much?
This
how
is on
much
point.
At this? Even this was a high point for Tulsi. Like she didn't have that much horsepower.
Yep.
At that point in time, and that it's just like. Anyway.
Well, the thing is, and again, just a quick reminder: Tulsi Gabbard had more delegates than Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Tulsi Gabbard got 2 delegates, and it's very fair. Kamala got a whopping 0. And last I checked, maybe I'm not so good on the numbers, but I think 2 is bigger than 0, right, Dan? Or am I wrong?
Well, no. In identity politics math that Kamala uses, 0 is actually much bigger than 2.
All right.
So,
Well, let's play this moment in history where, again, we're all reminded just what destroyed the Kamala Harris campaign during the early days of the Democratic
Just a
primary.
little tiny bing.
Bing. All right, let's play that video.
Bring in Congresswoman Gabbard. Congresswoman Gabbard, you took issue with Senator Harris confronting Vice President Biden at the last debate. You called it a, quote, false accusation that Joe Biden is a racist. What's your response?
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris, your response?
You know what? This is funny. She doesn't know what to do.
That moment right there. It's funny.
This is the moment that she realized she didn't have a campaign anymore. By the way, I also want to throw out just to the beginning of that video that remember when Harris was attacking Biden for being racist?
Yeah.
Oh, the irony.
Yes.
Oh, the
We're
irony.
only playing a small snippet of this video. Let's go ahead and play the rest of it.
Yeah.
Elected Attorney General of California, I did the work of significantly reforming the criminal justice system of a state of 40 million people, which became a national model for the work that needs to be done. And I am proud of that work. And I am proud of making a decision to not just give fancy speeches or be in a legislative body and give speeches on the floor, but actually doing the work of being in the position to use the power that I had to reform a system that is badly in need of reform. That is why we created initiatives that were about reentering former offenders and getting them counseling. It is why, and because I know that criminal justice system is so broken, that I am an advocate for what we need to do to not only decriminalize, but legalize marijuana in the United States.
I want to bring Congresswoman Gabbard back in. Your response,
The bottom line is, Senator Harris, when you are in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not. And worse yet, in the case of those who were on death row, innocent people. You actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that. And the people who suffered under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
Senator Harris.
That was, I mean,
pause right there. And that was the moment that really destroyed her campaign.
The crazy thing was, on top of that, I forgot this. If you look at when Harris responds, she can't deny it. She doesn't deny it. She doesn't know what to do. She's like, I did the work. I did the work. And Tulsi's like, yeah, you did the work that put all these people in jail, just like I said.
Yep, and the thing is, only recently now can those firefighters who were, and those prison firefighters, can now apply to actually get a job as being firefighters. This was happening all under Kamala Harris's watch, and again, as a district attorney, she could have prosecuted that guy, Steve Mnuchin.
Oh yeah, the guy that actually is really related to getting people kicked out of their houses was not prosecuted by Kamala.
And
so.
Kamala could have done it, but oh wait, Steve Mnuchin donated to her campaign.
I really hope that if there's a year where we run someone as progressives, we got to run them under the Republican Party. No question, we got to beat Trump. Then we just take down Kamala like it's no issue.
Yeah. Again, it's just madness and stupidity. And at least, here's the thing. Knowing now that, again, 15 million Americans are at risk, unless Congress decides to, unless we can get Ice Cream Nancy to re-adjourn Congress, if the Biden administration, the Biden-Harris administration, can get the Senate and House to work together, 15 million Americans or more are at risk of being evicted.
Yeah. By the way, you know what's absurdly crazy about all this as well?
Yeah.
Is that right now everyone is calling the administration the Biden-Harris administration.
Yeah.
If Harris decides to run in the next election, you know, if something happens to Biden or whatever, she's gonna say, "Oh, it's the Biden administration. I was just the VP. I was like a secretary."
Look, 15 million Americans are at risk of being evicted from their homes. This is going to happen under the Biden-Harris administration. That favorability that Biden has, and also the unfavorability that the Kamala Harris has, is going to be sinking very soon if they don't fix this, because it's going to be bad. And 2022 could be a political slaughter for the Democrats. I knew it was going to be I just didn't think it would be that bad. But I'm glad that we were able to time travel just to remind everyone just what destroyed Kamala Harris's campaign.
This is the strength of Kamala. I kind of want her to run now, but I need someone now on the Republican side that we can cheer for to go against her, because I just want her to be taken down. I just worry that she won't get through the primary again.
Yeah, there might be another Tulsi Gabbard destroyed. But hey,
the only way Tulsi becomes president, not Tulsi, my bad, I'm sorry. The only way that Kamala becomes president is what we all think.